Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. What's up, everybody? About to go live. Make sure my audio and everything sounds good. About to go live. Make sure my audio and everything sounds good. What's going on, everybody? Let me put it in the chat. What's up, chat? Welcome to the Prince the King Weekly Wrestling Show. All the hottest wrestling news, stuff that's cracking in the wrestling media, in the wrestling world. Hope everybody's doing all good today. Go ahead and put my message in the chat before we get this show started. See if we get a couple more people in this thing. All right, we've had an interesting week. A very, very interesting week. Man, so much has been happening. Yeah, we're going to dive deep into a lot of the different things that's been kind of brewing in the wrestling world. Not just WWE also, but with Rampage Jackson's son as well. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope everybody's doing okay this week. It's been a busy week for me, so some of the content's been a bit delayed, but we're getting back on track. We're going to make sure we keep pumping everything to the people out there. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, man, we're going to see if we get anybody into this thing. Give it a few minutes. Check a few emails. Have so much going on, guys. You would not believe it. You would not believe it. But busy is good in my world. Busy is good. Busy is good. I love busy. I love it. But yeah, man. Got my notes here. We ready to go. Make sure I have everything I need also. We're going to start this thing off by saying what's up to everybody who tunes in, whether you tune in now, whether you tune in later. Sometimes it happens like that, you know. But anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Everybody that may drop in, thank you. Do not forget to hit that like button for me. Also, subscribe. We're almost to 100 subscribers. That's always a great thing. The channel's growing. We're going to continue to make it grow. We're going to continue to put out content for the wrestling fans out there. This one is for the fans. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. We're going to start this show off by talking about Becky Lynch, the heat that she's getting from the rock and roll community, even some fans also. But she made some remarks during her promo segment on Raw this past Monday. She said, and I quote, "The only good thing that came out of here died a month ago. But in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had a good sense to move to LA, a proper city. Because if I lived in Birmingham, I would die too." She's doing what she's supposed to do, right? That's what a heel is supposed to do, right? You're supposed to generate heat. You're supposed to get the fans emotionally invested. Just get the fans pissed off. Is this the right way of going about it? This is kind of a sensitive, touchy subject, considering the fact that Ozzy Osbourne just passed. You know, he is rock and roll. He is rock and roll royalty. So you don't want to go to his hometown and say something like that Because yeah, you're gonna draw attention, you're gonna draw heat from the crowd or whatnot, but you're also gonna draw heat from his family. Kelly Osbourne was not happy about that. She was not happy about that, and she posted to her Instagram story shortly after the episode aired, and she made her feelings crystal freaking clear. Kelly Osbourne, the family member of Ozzy Osbourne, stated, "You are a disrespectful dirtbag. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home." Kelly Osbourne, man, she's coming to her dad's defense, man. She's not playing that. Becky Lynch also said something about a week ago about Naomi. What a bad time to get pregnant or something like that. Something along the line of that. Forgive me. I said it on last week's show. But is Becky Lynch doing what she's supposed to do? Is she drawing the heat that's required to be a heel? I think she's doing a damn good job at it, me personally. But I think you also have to be careful. You have to tread lightly on some things that are said because you do not want to piss people off. And she's doing a good job of doing that. I think Becky Lynch is a good wrestler. I think I like this whole gimmick. It looks like she's trying to take a little page out of her husband's book or his playbook. But you got to be careful on some things that are super sensitive towards the fans. And one of those things is in Ozzy Osbourne, some would say disrespect. I saw it as, she's showing Ozzy love, but at the same time, you kind of dissing the city and things of that nature, and him moving to LA and all that stuff, man. You just got to be careful with doing stuff like that because it's still a very touchy, sensitive subject, and you don't want that type of heat. Keep it in the ring. Keep it in the ring, man. Keep it. Don't touch subjects, because if somebody would have said something like that about Hogan, that would have drew a lot of heat as well. I know some of you may see that right there in the background. I just noticed that. That is from my upcoming horror film. That's what my cast member was wearing when we did the kill scene or whatnot. So just ignore that, man. It's not nothing crazy. Matter of fact, I don't want anybody to get offended and see that thinking something crazy. So let me move it. All right. Yeah, it was kind of a distraction. But anyways, yeah, man. So what do you guys think about Becky Lynch and her heat that she's drawing by throwing Ozzy Osbourne's name like that, talking about his hometown and things of that nature? Looks like WWE is going to apologize. They apologized, and they plan on doing another apology. So there's no telling what they have planned. They don't want that type of heat on the company or whatnot, and they don't want that type of backlash. So I wouldn't be surprised if Becky Lynch comes out during our next promo run or whatnot and says, "And I'm sorry" or something like that. The higher ups are going to straighten that out. But anyways, moving right along. Let's talk more about this Rajah Jackson situation. Rajah Jackson. Rampage Jackson's son. I was a big fan of Rampage Jackson. I still am. When he fought. This was a very bad situation. I did a video about this whole ordeal. If you're in the content creator space, especially in the wrestling world, you're going to be talking about this situation and what's happening and things of that nature. This was a very, very bad move. And the more I've been looking into it, the more I've been looking into who this Psycho Stu gentleman is. This is so, so unfortunate. It's sad. I have a lot of respect for the veterans. Once upon a time, I worked side by side with a lot of veterans in my past career. A lot of these guys, man, they've been through so many things, man, being deployed overseas. Some of the things they've seen, some of the things they've dealt with. And a lot of them, they find outlets to help with the trauma, the past trauma that they've dealt with while being deployed overseas. I'm 39. When I was in my 20s, the war on terror was really, really at a peak, So a lot of guys I went to high school with that went into the military. I went and played college football. But a lot of guys that I played football with in high school that went to the military, they came back and they had a different look in their eyes, man. They were different people. So you have to be mindful and have a level of respect when dealing with veterans. A lot of them, man, and this guy, man, I understand the wrestling business. Me personally, if I was there as a guest, I would have understood. Even if he would have hit me with the can without me letting me know, hey, a can shot is coming. First and foremost, there wasn't a prop beer. I keep seeing people say, oh, it's a prop beer. No, it wasn't a prop beer. It was a real beer that he probably was drinking. It's not unlikely that people may have a beer or two while backstage at a WWE event or a wrestling event, especially an independent show. So he just popped them in. He saw the cameras. He saw Roger Jackson. He thought probably, hey, man, this guy's a worker. Looks like he's trying to gain some heat. Psycho Stu's probably trying to gain some heat with the with the upcoming show that's getting ready to happen. And Roger Jackson just seems like he has a lot of personal issues that he has to deal with internally, which led to the attack, the brutal attack. That was a very, very bad situation. I'm not standing up for that young man. I'm not vouching for him. That was very, very brutal and very ugly. I am not a fan of watching people get attacked, especially veterans. I'm not a fan of watching people get attacked by people unwillingly. To me, that was kind of a cheap shot. If you go out there, give him a receipt, give him the receipt. Or you give him the receipt right after he hits you in the head with the can. But you don't go out there and hit a guy with a freaking Alabama slammer and knock him out. He was laid out pretty much during the slam. He's completely laid out. He's knocked out there. If you would have just did that, that's a hell of a receipt, but that's a receipt itself. But getting on top of the guy, pummeling the guy, that was just some of the most gruesome, most brutal stuff I've ever seen, man. And I've seen a lot of dark, ugly things, especially from my past career. But you don't want to see people get attacked and brutally beaten like that. That's not right. And people that are standing up for it, you're wrong. Roger Jackson was wrong. What's so hard to say the young man was wrong? He was wrong. Stu apologized 3 times. He said he was sorry. After he hit the kid upside the head with the can, he said, hey, you're not going to sell it? He thought clearly maybe he was a little, maybe he was buzzed, had some beers, maybe he was a little drunk. But maybe, he genuinely thought that this was a work. And in Roger Jackson's mind, it wasn't. So there's a ton of backlash that he's getting. And what I don't like is a lot of this stuff is bleeding over into Rampage Jackson's business. You go to Rampage Jackson's page, and I just scroll through the comments, and so many people are just like shitting on him too. Rampage didn't slam and knock the guy out. As a father, we don't know what their personal relationship is in the house. But as a father, that's an absolute nightmare scene. I'm a father. 2 kids. You guide your kids. You teach them right from wrong. And you don't want to see them do anything stupid like that. That's Bush League stuff. That's Bush League stupid crap. And I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Roger, man, because he's going to end up paying for this, man. He's going to pay for it, whether with his freedom, lawsuits. He's going to pay for it. Now, a couple of wrestler veterans are defending Roger Jackson. You got Mark Henry, legendary Mark Henry, RVD. A lot of them, they've made remarks pertaining to the incident or whatever the case may be. But I think you got to kind of be careful with a situation like this. You got to be careful, man, because when you're dealing with veterans that get attacked, and then you start hearing the backstory and things like that about this guy and how he suffers from PTSD, and he got into wrestling because he loves this. Like a lot of us, we love it. We love the the entertainment faction of wrestling. We love the sport of it, you know. But also, I'm gonna play devil's advocate now. You have to be careful when dealing with MMA fighters. Trained MMA. It don't matter if they're amateur. It don't matter if they're pro. You got to be careful when dealing with people that are trained fighters like that. Slap, how do you know this? Because I train at an MMA gym. I've been doing jiu-jitsu well over almost 6 years. Been striking, been doing MMA training there. I train with these guys. And you talk about a hell of a receipt. If you're sparring with one of these guys and you pop them, if you hit them a little too hard, you're going to get a receipt from one of them. And it's not going to feel good. So you just got to be careful when bringing MMA guys into your sport. And I think Roger Jackson's buddy, the guy with the cowboy hat, I think my cowboy hat looks better, though. If you agree, let me know in the comments. But I think he kind of should have let everybody know, like, hey, this kid right here, he's an MMA fighter. I'm bringing him to the show or whatever the case may be. Kind of give disclaimers on things. Some people look like they kind of knew who Roger was, and some look like they didn't have a clue who he was. And Stu obviously didn't have a clue who he was, you know? So I'm saying this on the behalf of Roger, you know, you got to be careful when dealing with MMA guys that are trained. These guys are some of the most dangerous men walking around. It's a risk that you take when you try to go out here and get into a street fight, because you never know someone's level of training. You never know. You never know. You get out here, you get the run of your mouth, and you next thing you know, you're fighting a guy, an amateur fighter who's might have had 5-6 amateur fights, who's a purple, brown, or black belt in jiu-jitsu. These guys can seriously hurt you. They can kill you with their hands. I have to be mindful with myself. If I go out here and get to a street fight with somebody and they're untrained, I can cause a lot of damage to someone. So you have to be responsible. With the great power comes great responsibility. So you have to be responsible for what you're capable of doing. And I think that's what Roger lacked. He lacked that responsibility. Roger has to find whatever is bothering him internally, and he has to sit here and work through it and try to become a better person. But you can't attack, and I'm going to say this till I'm black and blue in the face. You can't attack someone who's not aware of what's getting ready to come, man. If it's a receipt, tag him. Tag him, get your receipt. But, I mean, go knock someone out and pummel them, mount him, and then proceed to just beating his brains in. That's just, I can't get down with that, man. That's Bush League stuff. I do not agree with that. That's foul. And I feel so sorry for Psycho Stu, man. They said the man was choking on his blood and his teeth. His blood and his teeth. That is so, that's a man that sacrificed his life for our country, fought in wars. You know, I don't know the man's MOS. I don't know his resume or whatnot, but still, you sacrificed your life. You laid it on the line, and you don't want to see someone get just pummeled and bashed and beat on like that, man. That's sorry. In my world, that's foul. And I like Rampage. I thought his son him and his son were pretty entertaining, but that's wrong, man. That's wrong. And I'm interested to see what's going to end up happening from it. Here in the state of Georgia, he would have probably been in jail by now. California's investigating, but here in Georgia, they would have came and found your ass. I can tell you that shit now. They would have came and locked you right the hell up. Believe the code section reads aggravated battery. Ag assault if he's dead. Aggravated battery, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm actually, give me a second. I'm actually going to look up the code section. Slap, how do you know? Because maybe once upon a time, that was my job. You know? Let's see. Ag battery. A person commits the offense of aggravated battery when he or she maliciously causes bodily harm to another by depriving him or her of a member of his body, offense, harm, disfigurement, or using a deadly weapon during the battery. So yeah, it looks like ag battery fits that description. Usually they say the use of a deadly weapon, but the thing is, they probably would have looked at Roger and be like, young man, you are a deadly weapon. You're trained. You've probably been doing MMA and wrestling since you was a kid. You're a walking weapon. And if Psycho Stu were to pass, it's ag assault then, bro. Was that worth it? Was that worth letting people on your screen get you so worked up to a point where you felt that was justified? That's the problem with a lot of our youth nowadays. A lot of our youth nowadays don't think. They don't think, man. They don't think. They think with too much emotion. They think with too much rage. You know, if you knock somebody out, why do you need to get on top of them and keep punching them? You know? I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it, man. All that's not necessary, man. But it's going to be ugly. It's a lot of backlash. A lot of people getting a lot of backlash from this whole incident. And I'm interested to see how this whole thing is going to end up playing out, because right now it's playing out very, very bad. But anyways, Rhea Ripley. Is she the biggest female wrestler? Is she the biggest star in wrestling right now? Is Rhea Ripley really that girl? I mean, she is. I mean, you talk about babyface, the ultimate babyface. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, man. People they just go ape shit. They just go crazy over Rhea Ripley, man, which I think is well deserved, man. She's a good worker. She's gotten better. She appears to be stiff sometimes, but her wrestling has gotten better, man. She's wrestling big. I like the power slams. I like how she wrestles. I like her whole gimmick. I think that she has the potential to be, you know, in the future, and forgive me if some may disagree, but I think she has potential to be probably one of the best women wrestlers in the history of the business of all time. You know, influence-wise, sales-wise, merch, things of that nature. Rhea's on another level, man. So shout out to Rhea. It's fun to see her. I love watching her and Io Sky work. You can tell they work really, really well together. They do their thing, man, and I really enjoy watching them two get it in. All right, WrestlePalooza. Looks like ESPN said, screw that. We need to go and get started now. We need to start making money now. We just lost our UFC deal or whatever, so we need to start making money now. And when I say that we have a live show coming before the year ends. WrestlePalooza, Indianapolis. ESPN's ready to start collecting some of that money. But is the WWE getting a little too greedy? Is the WWE getting a little too money hungry? Put in the comment section if you think they're getting a little too greedy, a little too money hungry, a little too anxious for the money. You know, they're in a WWE has some debt, so you know, maybe WWE's like, hey, we got to start getting out of debt, man. We got to start doing what we got to do. We got to start getting some shows on ESPN. We got to start generating some numbers, and that's why they added this show or whatever the case may be. But I'm interested to see how they're going to end up stacking this card, man. This should be pretty interesting. I've been seeing some rumors that John Cena's last show is going to be definitely towards the end of this year, so I'm just curious to see where they're going to end up putting it at. Where exactly are they going to end up putting this whole ordeal at? Oh, shout out to my boys at Jolly Roger Tattoo. Make sure you follow. Anybody that likes tattoos, if you're a tattoo shop, if you're a tattoo guy, they have a real old school tattoo vibe in there. A lot of tattoo shops are so freaking Hollywood and commercialized or whatever. No, man, these are old school vibes when you go in there, man. Chill vibes. Bunch of good dudes in there, man. Good times. Go stop by there. Tell them Slap sent you. They're located in McDonough, Georgia. But anyways, that was a plug for them. anyways, continuing on, Kevin Owens looks like he had a successful neck surgery, and it's looking like that. They're waiting to see just how the bones fuse in his neck, and who knows, we might get Kevin Owens back before the year ends. That'd be nice. I like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a really good worker, old school style type wrestler. I like to see Kevin Owens back in the mix, man. You get Kevin Owens back on this lineup and everything that's brewing with WWE right now, the popularity where they're at, I think Kevin Owens will just help continue to make this brand just go crazy. So yeah, prayers for Kevin Owens, man. Hope you make a speedy recovery, and we'd love to see you back in the ring, buddy. We'd love to see you back, man. Moving along, some jiu-jitsu news. We got the Craig Jones Invitational this weekend. I'm actually going to live stream it. I'm going to live stream the Craig Jones Invitational on this channel. I'm a fan of jiu-jitsu. I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I know this is a wrestling channel, but me being a jiu-jitsu practitioner, a fan of the sport, and if any of my followers like jiu-jitsu, this Craig Jones Invitational is very entertaining. It's very entertaining. It's very entertaining last year. So, I look forward to seeing what they're going to end up doing this year, man. I'm expecting another wild show. Gable Stevenson, the legendary Gable Stevenson, hell of a college wrestler, one of the best college resumes in wrestling ever. He's out, turf toe injury, or as we say in our wrestling terms, it could be a work, because he also has an MMA fight coming up. So maybe he just didn't want to do the Craig Jones Invitational and wanted to focus on this MMA fight. But regardless, I'm going to stream the show. I'm going to stream it. It's free on YouTube. So, hell, why not, man? Why not have some drinks? Drink some whiskey, watch some jiu-jitsu, talk some jiu-jitsu, give my thoughts on everything, man. It'll be a good time. Be good vibes. All right. Let's see. Last topic. What I got here in my notes. Talking about Monday Night Raw. How do the people feel about Monday Night Raw? I know that they're showing it at 3 o'clock. I think this upcoming week is 2 o'clock. People have jobs, man. People work, dude. The majority of people in America work those hours. Kids are at school, Was it? I get it. You're trying to build a worldwide brand, But your home base, I figured, is America. So is it beneficial to have those shows coming on that early in the States? Monday, I couldn't watch it Monday because it came on so early. My son's got soccer practice. I pick him up from school at 3 o'clock. And then after that, we pretty much got to get ready for soccer practice, so I can't enjoy it. So I went back and watched the whole show on Tuesday. I just don't like when it shows that early, me personally. And then all the freaking commercials. What is up with all the commercials? I mean, good God. They make it so hard to watch sometimes. The shows are so hard to watch sometimes because of all the commercial breaks, all the promo. You can't even enjoy intros anymore, it seems like. I mean, what it looked like it was happening was you'll see one of the fighters come out. You get to watch the entrance, which is a pivotal part in wrestling. You see the entrances, goes to commercial, stays on commercials damn near 4 minutes. Can't skip past them. And this is on Netflix. Since when does Netflix have so many dang commercials? I get it. Everybody wants to make money. But stop forgetting about the fan base. The fans. Nobody wants to watch 4 minutes of wrestling and 8 minutes of commercials. We get a commercial, then you get a promo, promos from wrestlers. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Just doesn't really make sense. So, thank God I watched it on Tuesday because I was able to fast forward through a lot of the commercials and stuff. I was able to fast forward it. And I think that could be a recipe for disaster. I get it, man. Marketing dollars. Everything's money driven. Money driven, marketing dollars. What makes sense? But good God, don't forget about the fans, dude. Don't forget about the people that made this sport popular, that elevated this sport. The fans are the reason why you have this big deal, the big deals that you guys have. Because wrestling has hit some slow moments, some slow points. It has. But you have a loyal fan base, a fan base that still continues to watch the product, watch the brand. You have a lot of new fans. So don't forget about the fans, man. Don't forget about the people that truly enjoy the sport, that truly enjoy the wrestling. You know, so I've been seeing just on Twitter and things of that nature, WWE's getting a lot of heat from that, man. It's a lot of content creators, they're like, man, they're so greedy. WWE's became greedy. Any business does, unfortunately. When big corporates get involved, something like TKO powerhouses, they get involved when millions of dollars are being made. It changes stuff, man. Changes it. That's for anything. That's for any business. It changes it, dude. And a lot of time people are just like, hey, we unfortunately get the back. We unfortunately get the tail end of everything of the deal. But they should really be mindful of the fans. Keep the fans entertained. I'm still a fan of the sport. I've been a fan of wrestling since the early 90s when I was a kid. And my son is a fan of the sport. So let's just be mindful of that, guys. Be mindful of that. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up the show for this week. I'll be back live later on throughout the week. We're going to keep this party rolling. We're going to keep everything moving, keep everything in motion. And, yeah, we're going to see what ends up cracking, man. We're going to see what ends up cracking. Rajah Jackson, as soon as I get any breaking news from him pertaining to this ordeal, this ugly ordeal, what happened with this young man, I'll be letting you guys know. I know it's been a bunch of different stuff leaking out, different news, things of that nature. But, yeah, that situation right there is ugly. I get any updates on Psycho Stu. I provide updates on him as well. He deserves it. I mean, you talk about if he makes a full recovery, I think this man right here deserves a WWE contract. Put him on NXT at least. But you can't have someone get attacked like that and you just throw him off in the woods, When you got people like Mr. Beast and so many people tweeting out about this man, Mr. Beast tweeted out about this man offering to pay his medical bills. That was a huge, huge impact that this beating had on a lot of people. This assault, you can't batter anybody. Young people, if you watch this video, you can't go out here and just because somebody pisses you off, beat somebody and damn near try to beat somebody till they're dead. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's wrong. It's foul. And anybody that thinks otherwise, that's okay, that's acceptable, you're just as wrong. Yeah, I like Rampage. I like his son. I thought his son, his son was kind of off a little bit, but call a spade a spade. When you're wrong for doing something, you're wrong for doing it. And unfortunately, he's gonna learn. You got to pay the piper. When you do stupid stuff, you gotta pay. You gotta pay, and sometimes you gotta pay with your freedom. A lot of people done stupid stuff. They pay with their lives, so he's going to have to pay with his freedom. But anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you can be updated on all the videos that we're going to be releasing on this channel. I got more content in the works coming for you guys. And yeah, man, let's keep this ball rolling, man. Let's keep this momentum on fire. We'll holler back at you guys. Peace.